Hi, I'm Tom, and I have 8 dark fantasy games to fill the deepening darkness within us. I've had many requests to do a dark fantasy list, so here you go. Jumping in, if you've watched the Fresh Women Season 2 update, I hope you enjoyed having Emily fill in for me. And if you're interested in hearing more from her, she does a monthly game review from her perspective over at patreon.com/adult game reviews. Okay, let's get into it with number 1, potentially the most well-known dark fantasy choose-your-own-adventure game, Ravager by 4 Minute Warning. Ravager had a large update in April with another small update in May and is on version 5.0.6. You play a red dragon who is willing to do anything to take back his kingdom. He captures enemies, allies, and unsuspecting villagers to do his bidding by any means necessary. There are 3 different paths to take, with each path offering unique story aspects. You can play in a variety of different ways, but if you want dark fantasy, you really can't beat Ravager. You can find Ravager on Steam or 4 Minute Warning's Patreon. Okay, now on to number 2, Sinister Star by Ooh. The default version is a light version, but you can go to the publisher's website to get the 18 version. Sinister Star is described as a dark horror 2D side-scroller. It's focused on death and despair. You're a member of Church, and you were tasked to clear an overrun city of monsters. You can choose between short-ranged and long-range combat, with 6 stages available to play through. Sinister Star is available on Steam for $4.99 or DL Site, which is the publisher, for $2.35. The 18+ patch is only available through the publisher's website for just over $8. So if you buy the game through Steam and then DL Site, you'll be paying over $10, so you can decide if this is going to be worth it for you. Okay, number 3, Seeds of Chaos by Lord Ariok. Another pretty well-known branching AVN. I'm still personally playing through Seeds of Chaos because there's a lot of content. You play Rowan, a veteran of the Demon War, where he is forced to serve the same darkness he fought against. According to the developer, Seeds of Chaos is a dark fantasy game inspired by Berserk, Dark Souls, and The Witcher. If you want a story about a dark descent into chaos and corruption, then you might enjoy Seeds of Chaos. You can find Seeds of Chaos on Steam and Lord Ariok's Patreon. There's also an earlier version of the game for free over at itch. Number 4. But first, I'm looking into doing more lists, but they take a decent amount of time to put together, so please like and subscribe, which helps out the channel. Thanks. Okay, for real, number 4, Book of Bondmaids by Campty. Book of Bondmaids is an illustrative AVN with some political intrigue thrown in. Book of Bondmaids' setup is a kingdom in ruins, a princess in chains, and a hero caught between redemption and damnation. There are 2 DLCs out, and it's the sequel to Three Kingdoms story Kanusia. I think that's how you say that, which got pretty mixed reviews. I'm not actually familiar with that one. I also know Annie over at SPG covered Book of Bondmaids briefly a couple of years ago, so if you're looking for more info, you can check out her video. You can find Book of Bondmaids on Steam. Alright, number 5, Countess in Crimson by Digital Seductions. This is a corruption-themed, Lovecraftian-style adult visual novel with point-and-click adventure-style mechanics and choose-your-own-adventure-style endings. You play the main character whose car breaks down and you make your way to an old-school, feudal-style European town. You get cut off from the outside world and have to figure out how to stay alive and retain your sanity. My biggest criticism was just how short the game was when I first played it. It's still in development with version 8.19 available, and they've released quite a few small updates since my last review, but I'm not sure how much that translates to game time. Even if I found the story lacking, the art style and the renders were truly beautiful. You can find Countess in Crimson on Steam. Number 6, Parasite Black by Damn Studios. Parasite Black is a dark fantasy adult sandbox game. The game is described as, you're born in the kingdom of Alderay, where you were sent on a suicide mission against the fierce Demora, but instead of dying, you're given a second chance. With your newfound gift, you may just be able to turn the tides of war and save the realm. Right now, you can download version 0.146 for free, with newer builds being paid through Damn Studios Patreon. Moving on to number 7, Sanguine Rose by Dusky Hallows. Sanguine Rose is a dark illustrative AVN that was released in April of 2020. The story focuses on a band of mercenaries who get trapped in the village of Whitewood with your current prisoner. There are multiple endings, and general consensus is the story is pretty solid. The largest criticism is the game is short with only a few hours of gameplay and with a $14.99 price tag. So if you're willing to pay a relatively steep price for what is seemingly a solid AVN, then you can find Sanguine Rose over there on Steam. Okay, finally, number 8, The Heart of Darkness by Big Wednesday. This is a turn-based RPG. The game comes censored on Steam, but you can download the uncensored patch through the publisher Kagura Games website. The setup is there is a terrible curse that blankets the kingdom, thrusting it into utter despair and darkness. You play a brave warrior trying to expel the shadows and save the kingdom. The Heart of Darkness was released in April of 2022. There are multiple classes to choose from. Recruit allies with a large group of characters to recruit. I thought the last game was expensive, but Heart of Darkness is $20. Luckily, I believe the uncensored patch is free on Kagura Games. They also have a ton of other games that I haven't really checked out. Either way, Heart of Darkness seems to fit the dark fantasy theme. Overall, I've played a few of these games, and many I haven't. Ravager, which is a good game, and in the process of playing Seeds of Chaos that can also be very dark. Countess in Crimson had its positives and negatives. I'm hoping you were able to find something in this list that looks good to you. You can find the links to all the games mentioned on my Patreon. The link is in the description. Take care. Until next time.